They got off to an early lead, haven't been able to hold it as the Mavs have scored 29 unanswered points in this key showdown for the final playoff spot in District 25. In other news, despite being the nation's top-ranked teams, the Longhorns lost a coin toss, so they'll be the second seed in this week's SEC tournament. And personally, I don't think something this simple should determine something like that. As James Tausig, the UTSA slugger and their number 3 hitter in the order, must have been watching a lot of the French Open this week with a perfect drop shot drag bunt over Texas closer Dylan Valantis' head. But for the offense, things would get sloppy in the second half. A missed field goal, a 3-and-out, a lost fumble, and a second lost fumble, resulting in a scoop and score for a Kentucky touchdown, their only score of the second half. Now, the man behind the success today, a guy that Schlossnagle did not bring to Austin, in first baseman Kimball Schusler. The senior had 8 RBIs. It was a gritty performance tonight by Texas women's basketball at the Moody Center, winning 70-61 over the Missouri Tigers. However, this was not all sunshine and rainbows for Texas. They went down 11 in the second quarter despite coming into the game as 30-point favorites. They had more turnovers, 19, than they did assists, 18. But Coach Schaefer, after the game, was focused on how his team showed the grit to keep competing.
I thought defensively they changed, and I'm talking about my kids. I thought they changed and made it a point to play harder, play smarter, and play more together.
Texas was able to flip the switch despite significant challenges both on and off the court. Mizzou, which scored more than half of its points in the paint, was consistently able to get to the rim for high percentage shots early on, but was held to just 26 points in the second half on 36% shooting. Texas, meanwhile, was down starting forward Aaliyah Moore and rotational forward Justice Carlton due to a flu outbreak that Schaefer said was so bad he ordered his players to wear masks to their classes during the week.
I'm down 9 players and a trainer with the flu, so we're just trying to stay away from people. So anybody feels bad out here, y'all need to get the heck out of here.
Sophomore star Madison Booker and starting center Taylor Jones were able to shoulder the scoring load with 16 and 17 points respectively. But every Longhorn, even 5'6" point guard Rory Harmon contributed on the boards, out-rebounding Missouri by 13 en route to the program's 5th straight win. I'm Ryan Hopper for TSTV Sports. While many of Texas's best high school tennis players went into the UIL state championships looking to make their mark, Noe Doe was looking to make history. Doe came to San Antonio seeking his 4th straight state singles championship and didn't drop a set until his junior year. But Friday's 3.5-hour championship match proved to be one of his toughest, as the Rice University commit caught cramps in the near triple-digit heat. When the four-peat seemed in doubt, Doe found his internal fortitude through the dozens there to support him.
I had some doubts in my head, but I looked towards my coach, Miss Southard, and I looked towards my community, and I reminded myself that I'm a fighter. I'm a lifelong fighter, and I'm willing to win no matter what, and I sticked around towards the very end.
While a limping Doe lost the second set, he entered into another gear in the decisive third. With every point, the Kempner Cougar faithful grew louder and louder, realizing that history was imminent. While he's locked in between the lines, his friends and supporters who drove 3 hours from the Houston area on a weekday to watch his match tell me Noe is a social butterfly off the court. That checks out, as Noe now looks to expand his social media presence.
My Instagram's Noe Dowie, just NOEYDOWY. But follow me, I'll follow you back.
I'm Ryan Hopper for Reporting Texas TV. Welcome to your sports update. I'm Ryan Hopper. They say the Masters is a tradition like no other, and Sunday's final round at Augusta National was no different. Rory McIlroy led by as many as 4 shots on the back 9 before a calamitous shot into the creek on 13, which culminated in a double bogey. Suddenly, all of his competitors, including the red-hot Justin Rose, were back in it. On the 18th hole, McIlroy was just 7 feet from immortality and missed the putt wide right. It was another agonizing missed opportunity for the Northern Irishman, but he persevered like the great ones typically do. On the playoff hole, he hit a surgical approach shot which set up a short putt to complete just the 6th ever career Grand Slam. After entering the history books, McIlroy described the feeling of finally getting it done at Augusta after over a decade of near misses.
Yeah, it's been a emotionally draining week for a lot of reasons, a lot of just roller coaster rounds and late finishes, and so just, you know, absolutely thrilled to be sitting here at the end of the week as the last man standing.
McIlroy received the green jacket from last year's champion and Longhorn legend Scotty Scheffler, who finished 4th place at 8 under par. Now having won every major and becoming the first European to do so, McIlroy has nothing left to prove, though he could take home some more hardware this year as July's British Open will be played in his native Northern Ireland. Moving to the 40 acres, it has been nothing short of a renaissance for Texas baseball. The program is off to its best start since 2004 and is ranked first in the nation for the first time in 3 years after winning 13 of its last 15 games. Behind this turnaround, first-year head coach Jim Schlossnagle, who has brought in new talent like infielders Ethan Mendoza and Adrian Rodriguez, but also worked with his staff like pitching coach Max Wiener to develop the talent Texas already had. The Longhorns' pitching has progressed significantly this year, and not just because of velocity or location. In a game like baseball, the pitching staff's mental toughness can be just as important as any physical trait.
The positive reinforcement, that's one of my big deals is, you know, if you have a bad thought, never say it to yourself. Just put it away and, you know, think of something good that happened.
The Longhorns, now sitting at 30-5, will face 8th-ranked Auburn for a 3-game series at home starting tonight. First pitch is scheduled for 7 o'clock at the Dish. Not to be outdone by the program across the street, Texas softball is 39-5 this season and sitting at number 3 in the USA softball rankings. But this past weekend, the Longhorns dropped 2 of 3 in a home series against 5th-ranked Tennessee. Texas's bats went cold as the team scored just 5 runs on 16 hits across the 3 games and left a staggering 18 runners on base. Texas will have to get off the mat quickly with a home series against 9th-ranked LSU this weekend before next weekend's highly anticipated series against rival Oklahoma. The 4th-ranked Sooners are a bona fide dynasty, having won 4 straight national championships, so it could be an instant classic in Norman.